Prepare for impact with Doc Jud. You heard it here, folks.
Okay, we're rolling. Welcome to the Closed Door Behind You podcast with Doc Jud and Christos. Today we're going to be just catching up on things. How you been?
First of all, we're not just catching up on things. We're building the fucking next big dynasty on camera, live. And the world has to know as we document this. You're going to say, oh, why are you going to have a podcast where it's just Doc Jud and no Christos? Is that weird? Is that weird? Does that hurt my feelings? No, because I understand the mission.
Well,
I'll be behind the booth with Nat.
You're going to be the producer. So we're launching a new podcast, and this podcast is all about auto accidents. And so we are going to harvest the arena of auto accidents. We're going to have neurosurgeons on. We're going to have pain management specialists on. We're going to have physical therapists. We're going to have chiropractors. We're going to have personal injury attorneys on. We're going to have people who are in all of the different components of the no-fault and auto accident arena, such as people that are in durable medical equipment, people that are in pharmaceuticals. And we're going to get their stories and see if there's an opportunity to hear about interesting things that other people that are in the market can obtain, and for patients too who get into trouble, they get in an auto accident, they know some of these resources for them. So we're really looking forward to launching this, and fingers crossed it's going to be successful, and I think it's going to be super cool. Nobody else is doing it, and I can't wait to interview some people and have them tell stories and help our patients and our viewers navigate what happens, because when you get an auto accident, it's really scary.
Yeah.
You end up in an ER, you don't really know where to go. Afterwards, you don't know how to get the care. You don't know what you're entitled to for medical care, as well as other things. We'll have attorneys and such talk about financial situations or financial benefits, things that as a doctor I can't really talk about, but I can certainly talk about what the path is to getting the right medical care after you've been in an auto accident so that you get better.
That's interesting. You know what's the most interesting thing to me about the auto accident world is that there are so many hands in the pot of when it happens. You have the doctors, you have the lawyers, you have the insurance company, you have the other guy, and the other guy's doctor, lawyer, insurance company.
Yep.
And then you have the people who are funding the insurance company.
That's
and
right.
All that kind of stuff. It's actually so intricate of a system. One impact.
That's right. And there's people funding cases that only have a policy worth X, but the person needs a surgery 100,000 plus X. And so then there's people come in and lend and fund. There's just all these different tangents that we can discuss on the podcast so that patients know a little bit better of how to navigate the world. Other doctors and attorneys will have the opportunity to come on and share their stories so that we can understand each other a little bit better. So I think, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, not even them too, right? Now you have the cop who writes up the thing and his perspective on all of that. And then you have the mechanic that has to fix the car after all that stuff.
And the tow truck driver.
And the tow truck driver.
That's right.
And you have the guy who made the car in the factory, or the person who designed the car and the concepts and all that kind of stuff.
I love that. I wasn't even thinking of those aberrations. Yeah.
Right? There's just so many tentacles that come out of it. Like a Japanese work of art, just tentacles everywhere.
So we're going to formulate a list of all of those particular potential guests, and we're going to put them on the couch right here, and we're going to interview them. We're going to get their perspective. We're going to get their advice. We're going to get them to share information that we don't know, and I hope that it's going to be of value to doctors, to attorneys, to patients, and I'm excited.
I think it's a beautiful thing. Nat, you're on board?
I'm very on board.
Okay.
I think this is really interesting.
So the other thing too is Nat and me can still be funny behind the booth and give you guys good feedback and adjust the questions. It could be very much, because a lot of those guys, they're not like comedians that we have on this podcast where they're very okay with off the cuff or saying something slightly wrong, and they could be gaslit for it or something like that. Like if there's someone that comes onto the podcast for that podcast to be determined the full official name cleared, but that auto accident podcast, we'll be able to be like me and Nat in the booth, just like, hey, actually say it this way, reframe it that way.
Right.
It wasn't a little clear. Do you want to think about that answer before we go, blah, blah, blah.
We're going to make it of value to them as well, so
Yes.
that they're going to be able to market themselves, and it's going to be very advantageous to their reputation and to their businesses to come on the podcast.
Right. And then we can also offer extended services, if they want clips made for their specific things that we, weren't clips that we thought for the thing would be good for the brand of it. But
And even helping them with their social media. You
Yeah.
guys are such geniuses with the social media. You can help, navigate and drive their social media with content, with different clips that you are able to edit and such with your editing team, and so that it's a value to their brand and to their business.
Yeah, it could be a launching off point for a lot of people too, because we have a lot of experience, at least with this podcast and other areas. If you notice the clips that we have that are really well, that perform really well, the podcast clips that we have that perform really well, most of the time have an informative element to them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Definitely.
like a David Jin, teaching you about the
Chinese food.
Chinese food.
What to order on a Chinese menu.
The differences of Cyprus and Greece. The conspiracy theories with the moon landing,
Right.
All that kind of stuff. There's all a informative element of it. So we have a lot of experience, taking informative content and being able to earn the attention that it deserves.
And it's a relatable subject, because I think that a lot of us have been injured in an accident, or at least have been in an accident, or had a family member or a friend who was in an accident. And so that is something that I think people would be interested in, and to actually, they know that, hey, this is a possibility. I'm driving every single day. I'm paying my auto insurance. Whatever happens, if this happens to me, what are the steps that I have to take? Who should I go and see? Who should I not go? What do I need to watch out for? Are there, predatory behavior that, I have to watch out for as a patient? So I think there's a ton of things that we could touch on that would be of value to everybody, to the patients, to the lawyers, to the attorneys, to the one of the same attorneys and lawyers, the doctors, and all the different type of doctors and physical therapists and ancillary personnel that are revolved around this arena.
And I think the other really good element, at least for us in terms of focus, right? Arguments can be made, and I understand Nat shares this perspective, but I can derail the conversation a lot, and change and shift gears and be a little chaotic. But with this kind of subject matter, we could literally go through the most searched topics related to auto accidents and have that be the tent pole, theme of that specific episode's conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It could be framed in a way that captures organic search traffic automatically.
Should we come up with some questions that would be applicable to everybody, like the lightning round that we do on our podcast?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we just ask the same questions at the end of the podcast, towards the end of, of those different, get their perspectives.
Right. And even the framing, we have a cop on, what are the blah, 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 blah. And then, that boilerplate set of questions will help be sort of the centerpiece, along with the theme being another 5 or 6 questions related to that theme of the episode. And also kind of crafted, we'll have a list, we'll have a repository of these are the subjects that people search the most. These are the things that people have the most questions on. So, okay, that question on litigation obviously applies to a lawyer. So this will be something that we talk about with a lawyer on the podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those.
And then hopefully we get some engagement from the viewers and such. We'll have them write in questions, and then we could be like, that's great. An appropriate guest would be X, Y, or Z that could properly answer that question, because that's a really interesting inquiry.
Yeah. And we could set up a voicemail log service. So instead of calling in live, we tell people, you call this number, you leave a voicemail, we'll have your question answered.
That's a great idea.
By a lawyer or whatever.
Nice. Love it.
and then that's super cool. And
Yep.
it just makes itself. And then Nat has consistent work with us, and then we can use that as like the first part of the day,
Okay.
right? So that could be like the first episode that we film on a Friday, and then the second episode can be Close the Door Behind You.
Right. I'm also trying to figure out when is the best time to do it, because it seems like probably a lot of these people, I don't know. I don't know whether people are going to be able to break out of their normal day job to go do this, or whether that is the perfect time to do it on a Friday, because they're available and they don't want to do it on a weekend. I mean, I don't want to do it. Let's keep it. I'm just thinking, like, is it better to do it in the evening on Friday, or is it better to do in the afternoon?
Well, if there's someone worth talking to, I hope they have plans on Friday night. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I don't
not
know. I
like,
think a lot of these people have been working so hard they're exhausted by Friday.
well, I think Friday's good, especially if we start it soon, like summer Fridays. A lot of people, like especially in those kind of professional fields, like Friday's their lighter day for work. So they could probably step out for 2 hours to do a podcast.
Potentially, or, they try to skip town on Fridays and get out to
like leave
the beach,
Friday morning?
the beach or something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
We-
I mean, not
This
necessarily
part we
in the
can
morning.
discuss
Yeah.
off air.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
this
no,
is
I like
fair.
where it's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're thinking
Agreed.
pure execution, right?
Yeah.
Like without deciding when we do it, then this is just an idea and
So
not a plan.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to have to make a list of all the potential guests. We're going to make a list of all the potential titles,
Hmm.
and then we're going to have to come up with a budget and, formalize what we're going to spend on what.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah, I think I could do that for you literally in a weekend.
okay.
Literally in a weekend. Like we hit the ground running, because the worst is like when you have a good idea and you sit on it and then it loses its relevance because someone else already started doing it. Every day you don't do it, someone
Somebody
else
else is
has an
gonna do it.
advantage
You're
to
right.
do it.
And there probably are other people that may have done it, but they haven't done it here at Gas Digital in New
Yeah.
York City. And we have awesome resources, and we've got awesome editors and sound engineers. So it's so ripe of a project that I'm excited about it.
NYCpodcasting.com, whatever. But yeah, I think the other very cool thing is, being that I started my agency with Tex, and I told you about
Tex?
Tex.
Tex, is that somebody's
The
name?
guy we
Tex or
interviewed.
TEC?
Tex.
Tex?
Yeah, Josh Teixeira.
Oh.
Yeah. So we started like a branch in the agency that we work for our creative shop, and like
Okay.
the amount of people that we talk to that have interest in podcasts is insane.
Right.
So I think it's very ripe. Like there's so many professionals that are like, yeah, I want to get my story out
And
there.
let's be first to market.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the first to market.
Exactly.
Because-
So what I'm saying is, like, every day that you wait to start it,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many people that want to start also.
Right.
So we need a good name. Nat, give us a good name.
Yeah, I was trying to think of other puns with crash besides Crash Dummies. Crash Course.
Crash Course is good, but it won't help with the
Too
search. Like it needs to be something Crash blah 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 podcast.
Crash dummies near me.
Crash Dummies near me. Nah.
You ever see like Thai food near me? That's a restaurant
Yes.
down the
Yeah.
street. I love that name.
The modern version of being AAA towing or whatever that it comes up earlier in a phone book.
AAA towing. That's really
Accident
good.
near me,
Yeah.
or a motor vehicle accident near me, or ambulance. I don't know, ambulance. I don't know.
Chasers.
Yeah, we had thought of that one, but that's taken too.
I have a whole I have a whole list of potential names. I haven't checked to see that all of them have been but anyway, we just gotta work
Crash
on it.
out.
Crash out. Nah, that's a different bad search also. You need to like think about
Crash.
search.
I like crashing out with Judson.
Crashing out with Judson. Yeah.
Crashing out with Dr. K or crashing
Yeah.
out with Dr.
Yeah, crashing out with Dr. K is cool.
I like crashing out. That's funny.
So here's some of the ones: I'm a wreck, Crash Dummies, Car Crash, X. I don't know. By accident. The By Accident podcast. Not Dead Yet podcast. This is funny. Well, I'm not going to say that one. Accident Assassins podcast, Doc Star podcast, Crash Test podcast, Bumper Car Showdown, Call Me an Ambulance, Dr. Crash Dummy, The Crash Test, Pimp My Ride podcast, Accident Pimps, Slow It Down podcast.
Accident Pimps is dope.
Yeah. It just doesn't sound professional enough, though, I think, for some
Yeah, it
people.
might not be brand safe.
Doc Jud's Crash Test.
Call an ambulance?
Call Me an Ambulance.
Call Me Maybe.
Call an Ambulance podcast. Crashing.
No, it can't be crashing.
Call Dr. Judd podcast. Dr. Bumper Buster. The Jug Handle or the Judd Handle. Hold the Wheel podcast. Hold My Wheel podcast.
Hold My Wheel podcast is kind of good.
Prepare for Impact podcast.
That's funny.
Airbag Bully podcast.
Actually, Prepare for Impact
Prepare
podcast
for Impact
is really
pretty
good.
good.
Prepare for Impact podcast.
Yeah, you
Hold
don't
My-
even need podcast at the end. It's just called Prepare for Impact.
How about
I
Hold
love
My
that.
Airbag podcast?
Wait. I'm gonna write down Prepare for
Yeah,
Impact.
that's a good one.
That's actually like of the ones you listed and Crash Dummies. Those are the two favorite.
Prepare for Impact. Okay. Prepare for Impact. Prepare for Impact. A lot of alliteration there.
Prepare for Impact, but that rolls. It sounds really good. Like it sounds.
Welcome
like
to the
legit.
Prepare for Impact podcast.
No. You just say welcome to Prepare for Impact, a podcast where
This is Prepare for Impact.
Yeah, this is Prepare for Impact, a podcast where I sit down and talk about crashes, all that kind of stuff.
So that you're prepared.
Yeah, that's the fucking joke.
There you
God
go.
damn it. We were 5 minutes ahead of this fucking guy, and he's like, "That's the joke." Of course, bro. That's why we like the fucking name.
Okay, so we'll put that up top. Let me keep going.
God damn it.
How about Crutches Are for Quitters?
No.
Jaws of Life podcast?
No.
That's
Doc-
better.
Doc Judd's Crash Test?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we were talking about. That
How about Swervin' with Dr. Judd?
That's actually kind of cool.
That's
Swerving
funny.
with that's really good. Swerving with Dr. Judd.
Doc Judd is a Wreck podcast? Doc Judd Take the Wheel podcast? Nacho Doctor podcast?
I feel like Doc Jud Take the Wheel is if you were going completely corporate with it,
Okay.
whereas this is kind of like a little dabble into funny.
Doc
Yeah.
Star
Even though
Crash
it's not-
Dummies?
Yeah, he'll
Primarily
be
funny.
funny on
Yeah.
the pod. It's not like he's gonna be dry.
Oh, how about That's Gonna Hurt podcast?
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's gonna hurt. His
but I feel like it should be more specific to cars.
Okay.
and Prepare for Impact feels car.
Prepare for Impact is yeah.
I don't
You're
know
gonna
about
hit
this
the
one. This
steering wheel.
might make you roll your eyes, but how about Close the Ambulance Door Behind You podcast?
No, we need separate branding. We need
dude.
And
no
then,
relation.
So Grok gave me the MVA Doctor podcast. That's what it wanted. Accident Insights with the MVA Doc, or Accident Insights with Doc Judd. That was another suggestion by Grok. Impact Docs podcast.
They're all very corporate. Like if we were
MVA
going full corporate, those could work.
Right.
I think we
MVA
are
recovery.
corporate is good. What you want is to not make people make the decision on the name. Like you don't want
Right.
the name to be like immediately the thing that they're like resistant to.
Correct. And
You
I
want-
think that's the problem that we have had with our comedy podcast, having certain doctors on. They're like, I cannot go on your podcast because that would be not good for my career.
Prepare for Impact is both a pun, but not too goofy.
Look it up. Do a search on it if there's another one. I think some of these I checked and some of them I didn't. But I feel like every single phrase that you could possibly come up with has become a podcast. It might be a podcast of like two people who've done it one time in their living room in, some random suburban town. But I feel like almost everything, I don't know. It's just really.
Yeah, but sometimes you can also like someone had Brotaku podcast.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
There are two Prepare for Impact podcasts, but neither of them are about what this is about.
Okay.
What are they called?
One-
What are they
What
about?
was like planetary asteroid stuff?
No, one is about mission, like the mission world, like going out doing humanitarian missions.
Oh,
Oh.
that's so lame.
And then the other one is about cooking shows for some reason.
Okay.
Okay, so that means it's fair game. And what's their viewership like?
One is audio only.
Oh.
Oh, and it's dead now. Prepare for Impact, the one about sorry folks.
Cooking?
The cooking one has not been active since 2020. Oh, both have not been active since 2020.
Yeah, they were probably one of those COVID podcasts that spun up. That was like Brotaku. The last Brotaku podcast that was like going died in like 2017.
Oh, there's one business one
Prepare
for Impact with Ryan Estes.
Well, what's the viewership there?
It's all audio.
Prepare for Impact Business Podcast?
Yeah, promotional interview tour and author series featuring sales and leadership experts Ryan and Chad Estes discussing their book, which was called Prepare for Impact.
Fuck them. You could totally keep.
I think you're fine. Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah. Prepare for Impact checks so many boxes. It communicates the crash thing. It sounds sophisticated. It's funny in like a light touch kind of pun way. And it sounds strong. It's like Prepare for Impact.
Should it be Prepare for Impact with Doc Jud?
Yeah, for branding you can do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be more I guess
you like Doc Jud or Dr. Judson or Dr. K?
I just say Doc Jud. I mean, whatever.
Doc Jud is cool.
It's fine.
Prepare for Impact with Doc Jud. You heard it here, folks. Prepare for Impact with Doc Jud. Starring. I don't know. That was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. We need a 30-minute mark. What should we talk about?
We're doing a 30-minute podcast today?
Yeah, at least.
Oh, okay.
Right?
How would you spend the 4th of July?
How did I or how did
that's gone now, right? 4th of July.
I had a great it was so hot. First of all, okay, so let's talk about something. I don't know if you heard or saw what happened on Friday night, July 3rd, in New York Harbor.
The fire?
So, not a fire, but so there was all of these fireworks that were set up for the 3rd of July, the evening, and there was tall ships. They came from like 30 different countries, these huge tall ships, and it was a gorgeous day, sunny, no clouds, no rain the whole entire day, and there was fireworks that were supposed to go off in Monmouth County, all over where I was at the Jersey Shore, and everybody got together, and literally at 8:30 p.m., a crazy weather event happened. Like, it was almost like somebody sabotaged the 250th anniversary of the United States. It was the weirdest thing. Literally, like a mini hurricane hit, and it was like 70-mile-an-hour winds, pouring rain, and it literally rained on the parade. I mean, it was so bizarre. And then a half an hour later, it was gone. It was just the weirdest thing, and it happened right when everybody was like getting ready to celebrate. It was so bizarre. Some people are postulating that it's weather control. I checked with my people. It wasn't us. It wasn't the Jews.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's fitting of what you guys would do.
Yeah, but I don't think that we would sabotage the United States. I mean, that's the new thing.
I don't think you guys would have been involved with 9/11, but here we are.
Right, that is the conspiracy, right? That the Jews did. Now they're saying the Jews did the Charlie Kirk thing. People are so pissed that Tyler Robinson. Have you seen the footage from the Tyler Robinson case?
No.
So they've got the boyfriend, Twig. His name is Twig. He is the transgender individual that Tyler Robinson was in love with, and they found his love note that he left underneath the keyboard to Twig. And also, they presented all of the text messages that they were writing back and forth. And Tyler Robinson actually admitted to his transgender lover that he did indeed assassinate Charlie Kirk. And now everybody's so pissed because they can't say the Jews did it. So they're up in arms and they're like really pissed. Sorry, guys.
Right. It's really
couldn't pin that one on us.
It's really hard for the CIA or a Jewish conglomerate to like send a text from someone's phone.
So no. So you're right. So that was the postulation that perhaps somebody engineered and such, but literally they have the guy. They gave him immunity. Okay, they got Twig. They gave his transgender lover, gave him immunity, and said, "Hey, like,
is Twig a man now or a woman now?
he's a man. He's always been a man. He was never a woman. He's a
Okay,
transgender.
We're
He's
mad
a man.
at Twig. We're mad at Twig. Twig is
No.
a woman. You know.
Twig's a man." And Twig in his interview is sitting there as dressed as a man. So he's a full-on man, but he's also known as Luna. Luna, I guess, is his transgender female name.
So Twig's just a cross-dresser.
I don't know what he is, but it's a man. He was chewing gum, which was weird. Like just chewing gum during this, and like they were like, "Buddy, do you mind spitting out your gum? Like this is sort of serious. Like you're potentially going to jail too. So
Yeah.
you might want to spit out your gum."
That's awesome.
Like these guys are so dumb.
Well, I think Tyler Robinson was probably just a guy really into Futanari. And I believe that Charlie Kirk was anti-Futa. So, you know, maybe there was just that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he was just mad that he was, like, stepping on Futa.
Futa or octopus porn?
No. Futanari is very specific.
Oh, Futanari is, what is that, transgender porn?
It's not transgender. Usually it is trans forward, but it's usually when a woman sprouts either magically or, you know, by accident or, you know, some sort of chemical reaction allowing her to now have a penis, and she will have sex. Still, like, she probably, in most cases, also still have a vagina.
Is this cartoon?
Yeah, it's hentai, yeah.
Hentai, that's anime.
Yeah, that's
Okay, guys,
anime
just to kind
hentai,
of everybody from my generation, just so you're aware, this is cartoons, anime, Japanese in origin. So there's not females that are actually growing penises magically in reality. This is animation.
Yeah, but actually, you know, not to be too down this rabbit hole, but now because that kind of stuff has become so popular, they are doing like real life live action versions of Futanari.
Like AI type stuff where they
Yeah, AI for sure. That's definitely covered. And they're also like they've been doing CGI versions of it, but now like some popular porn stars will do like a fake Futanari, you know, like anime in real life kind of style thing.
Huh.
So they'll like put prosthetics on. They're getting like, because the thing with like porn is people are starting to get bored with like regular porn. So they like advance to this kind of level of stuff. And then there's really people who are like, they love Futanari so much. They're like, I'd love to see like a real person Futanari kind of thing. And so you'll have like a porn star and she'll be like in a cinematic kind of porno and be like, I just sprouted a penis. And is that weird? Nat, you know what I'm talking about. I feel weird.
I just think that these are indications that our society are on the cusp of total devolving into anarchy.
Yeah, probably.
Like when you can't even figure out, like there's nobody even knows what gender they are, and nobody knows what their political affiliations, and people are more concerned with virtue signaling and than being labeled as racist or this or that ist. It's like everybody's just scared and freaked out.
Dude, why? These are all old talking points. Like
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I'm old.
No, but it's not even that it's an old thing. It's that we've, like, everything that could be said about that stuff has been said already. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the transgender thing. Are a lot of people mentally ill and they're using it as a way to like do it? Yes, absolutely. Are there a lot of people that it's just been something they've always wanted to do? They've always felt like they were in the wrong part of the wrong body? Yes, absolutely. Like there's been this kind of stuff forever, but there's a lot of people probably on the bandwagon. I don't disagree with that, but I just don't think it's like that interesting anymore. Like I think we're kind of all right, you're trans, whatever, dude. Like I don't like.
I feel like a lot of it's interesting to see how transgender went from like aggressive dressing as females, like what was the name back in the 80s, like when men would dress up like super over, like tons of makeup, and now it's like a very androgynous look to be trans. It's almost like, is it a girl? Is it a man? Whereas before it was like a guy dressing up.
It's because everyone's poor. They
Yeah.
can't afford.
Everybody's poor.
Yeah, it's because they used to be able to afford to get the good tits, and now they can't afford the good tits anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's so true. And makeup is expensive. Sephora, billion-dollar company. You know.
It is like it's just it's
Mike wants to weigh in.
Oh, Mike, weigh in, buddy.
I didn't hear all of this, but you were talking about fake tits and why they're not as good anymore.
We
No,
can't
I
hear
was
Mike
saying that
very well.
I was saying that the trans people of 2026 can't afford the good tits anymore.
Oh, then I don't have an I thought
He
you
missed-
meant something else.
He was talking about why the quality of fake tits has gone down.
Oh, why has
Why?
the quality of fake tits gone down?
Because BBLs are in style, so doctors can make more money doing BBLs than fake tits.
I mean, it is true that everything, all the plastic surgery is now like really on discount. And if it's not on discount here in this country, people are now willing to go to other countries to get discounted plastic surgery at their peril and risk. Not to say that there's not good plastic surgeons in other countries, but a lot of times there'll be a lot less regulation. You have people that aren't even doctors doing plastic surgery, and then they show back up in the ER here in the United States. And then me as the ER doctor, I'm like, hey, you got an infection from this silicone that you got injected in Colombia. And then we call the plastic surgeon on call, and they say, I'm not touching that.
But is like what I don't understand about the BBL is like for me, like it even bothers me when I have my wallet in my back pocket. You know, like I can't do much with it. Like it's always, it feels like it's there. Like, do you feel it as a foreign entity in your body
Yeah, it's like having a pillow
on your butt?
Yeah,
It sounds
like
kind of
it's an
nice.
implant.
That sounds kind of nice.
it's
though.
kind of like wearing a donut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're like
A
you have
wallet is off center, whereas a BBL just lifts you from both sides like a chair.
yeah, I
That
wouldn't
sounds
want
comfortable.
that. But why would you? But then walking around, you feel a foreign entity in your backside.
I don't want it. I'm just playing devil's
Some
advocate.
people, some women wear it as a trophy. You know, they've been so stigmatized for not having curves, and they're so self-conscious that they're willing to go to those lengths. I mean, certainly when if you talked about this stuff in the 60s and 70s about women having an implant in their chest, people would think that you were crazy. Did you ever see the movie with Schwimmer about the guy who did the first boob implants? It's really good.
Wait, he signed a deal with the devil, probably.
Yeah, so Schwimmer, what's his name? David Schwimmer.
From Friends.
From Friends was he
That's why I
played
didn't
the
see this.
surgeon.
This guy's made only dog shit movies.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
So it's all about the guy who was like the first plastic surgeon that was doing boob implants, and he got a lot of shit for it, and they're just like, you're disgusting, and he, obviously started, let's say, more than a trend.
Wow. That makes sense, dude. Did he become super rich? Did he patent
course.
the thing? Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That's the thing, too. We got, the fact that there are doctors, like the doctors who have, like, the research element and they try, like, new things and they patent approaches, like, there's so much money that you can make just from that, right?
From medical device, certainly. If you own a medical device and have a patent and they start using it in volume, 100%. I mean, it's like anything else.
But a procedure, you can't patent a procedure.
I think maybe not a procedure, but certainly the device that you use, maybe the tool for the procedure or the technology for the procedure. Like, for example, Da Vinci has a patent on the robot that does like the prostatectomies and other type of robotic surgeries. There's other devices that, implants and such, whether it be plastic surgery or orthopedics, screws, plates, all kinds of stuff. And if you make one that works better than another one, or perhaps it's less expensive to a hospital system and therefore you could sell it, and then you have, you have some good attorneys that you were able to hire that have patent and trademark capabilities so that you get a residual every time one gets implanted into somebody. Yeah, you could, just like any other business, probably make a lot of money.
Damn, dude. Okay. That's crazy that Leonardo da Vinci had a patent on robots, and it's still held up after all these years. So everybody that makes robots has to pay him? Well, who gets it? Da Vinci's estate?
I don't know who is. I don't know. Good question.
Huh.
The Da Vinci robot. It's publicly held.
Oh, it's a company?
Yeah.
Ah, lame. I thought that was so cool because he invented so many things.
Da Vinci.
Yeah, but
What did
no
he do?
patents.
Right.
He invented the helicopter,
Really?
Yeah, he like in his notes you could see it's like I want to kill Oliver Tree and Kobe Bryant one day. I must invent a device that can do this. You know about Oliver Tree?
No. Who's Oliver Tree?
You definitely heard one of his songs on the radio, but he died in a helicopter crash.
That happens a lot to
It
musicians.
happens a lot. And like 2 celebrities.
It's because celebrities are the only ones fucking in helicopters.
Right, that can afford it.
I said the same thing too, and I was like, I don't know if they're necessarily more dangerous. It's just that they're going into helicopters at a higher rate than anybody else is.
Helicopters, planes, Richie Valens, the guy from La Bamba.
Yeah.
So many. Aaliyah, she died in a part. So many musicians die in plane crashes. It's strange.
That could be a branch offshoot episode of what is it? Prepare for Impact?
Prepare for Impact, talking about... Actually, what's interesting, I did take care of... I'm not allowed to release... Well, I guess I can. I'm taking care of a patient who was in a plane crash.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, so that's its own branch of accident care. I have another guy who I got referred to, who I helped guide get care, who actually was in his own plane, and he landed at this airfield, and I won't say the state to keep his privacy, but I guess a car drove on the onto the runway, and he clipped the car, and then it made him crash. So he didn't die, but he had some injuries. And, it's like months later, and he didn't really know what to do because it was kind of like this rural area. And he came to me asking me, actually, his brother asked me, like, hey, like, what should he do? And so I basically reached out to some individuals in his state who were interventional pain medicine docs, and they kind of guided me in getting this all taken care of for him.
Wow.
So that's another interesting.
And you have insurance on your own plane, obviously, right?
Great question. I don't know. I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they're required to. I don't know how that works, and that would be a good topic for a podcast.
Yeah.
How it works when you get in an aviation, or whether it's a small plane like a personal plane, or whether it's a major commercial airliner. Like I took care of somebody who was in one of the commercial airliner. This is something that recently happened in, let's just say, the area. Thank God they're safe, but some other people died. And this individual is okay, but when I say okay, he has injuries.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking care of him for that and trying to figure out how to navigate. How do we handle that case? There's not like these aren't like typical insurers. Like in the state of New York, for example, everybody has to carry what's called PIP, which is personal injury protection insurance. And so if you get in an auto accident, there's a certain amount of money allocated to cover your medical expenses. There's also sometimes bodily injury, which is totally something different, but there's an X amount of money that is available for you to go to the emergency room, to go see physical therapists, to go see an orthopedist, to go see a pain management doctor, to get therapy,
without
chiropractic.
anything being settled yet.
That's correct. Way before
People
settlement.
don't even know that.
That's correct. A lot of people don't know that. Now, that's different in other states. So in New York, we have the benefit of having personal injury protection. Whereas, for example, in Florida, they do not have that.
Right.
Or if they do, it's a very small amount. I think it's a very small amount that's a whole other subject.
So what's the amount in New York, like baseline?
It's $50,000 in total.
So you could get $50,000 of medical care
That's
in
correct.
an accident.
You don't get the $50,000 handed to you and go, hey, go spend it on
if you
that.
went out in relation to the accident, automatically it's you have that baseline amount.
That's correct. So you have that available to, it's up to the insurance companies to grant it for certain things. And, obviously insurance companies have utilization review and will say, oh, that wasn't necessary and we're not going to pay for that. We're not going to pay for those MRIs. We're not going to pay for that procedure, et cetera. Some things you have to kind of get pre-authorization on. And present to them the data with which, hey, listen, this is an MRI that showed this type of finding in this particular joint that was, causally related to the accident. So there's a process, but it's available.
You can go and do it preemptively, and then it can be contested later, or you have to preemptively ask for permission to go and do it?
So that's a good question. So, for example, like a surgery requires a lot of money. So let's say somebody has to get spine surgery.
Yeah,
okay?
hell, an X-ray would cost $50,000 just alone.
Well, so let me give an example. Like, for example, I'll see a patient and I don't get, they're like, hey, I'm having horrible back pain. You know, I examine them. I determine like this patient could benefit from getting a little bit of medication into their low back called a trigger point injection. Now, I'm not calling the insurance company and be like, is it okay if I can do this? I'm treating the patient, right? So regardless of whether I'm getting paid or not, I'm going to do the injection. I'm going to get the patient feeling better. I'm going to cross my fingers that when I submit the bill, that insurance company will pay me. But if I don't get paid, it's not the end of the world. However, if somebody, for example, needed to have a fusion of their spine, and so a neurosurgeon would need to rent out a surgical suite and have a surgical assistant and have surgical instruments available. And there's a major cost to that. So they're not going to do that just like, hey, we'll do it and cross our fingers. And hopefully the insurance company will do the right thing and reimburse us. They will get what's called pre-authorization for that, meaning that they will present the case to, you know, the insurance company and say, hey, they've met these particular criteria. They have exhausted conservative therapy, such as, you know, 6 weeks of physical therapy. They've gotten injection therapy from Dr. Krosny. It's not working. Their EMG shows that they have a radiculopathy.
Radiculopathy, what a horrible name.
So bottom line, they have to present a bunch of data to get approved, pre-approved from the insurance company to get that particular surgery.
Okay, so then where does the 50,000 factor in? Like, what is that? What does that cover as a thing? Like, because now you're saying there's pre-authorization, but if that medical procedure costs more than $50,000, they have to do it, and then it's a claim like with the insurance. So where does this $50,000 come from, and what does that get you?
So the $50,000 will typically get you care from providers that are going to see you without pre-authorization, meaning you're going to come and see me. I'm going to do a consult. I'm going to take a look at, you know, I'm going to get the whole history. I'm going to establish the story. I'm going to check your past medical history. I'm going to check your vitals. I'm going to do a full examination, a physical examination. And every part of your body that you're saying is hurting, I'm going to do an exam and I'm going to record everything that happened, all the details of the accident. And then I'm going to come up with a plan and say, hey, listen, you know, your left shoulder, your neck and your low back seem to be hurting you a lot. You also have these physical findings on physical exam. Therefore, I think that I'm going to write you a physical therapy prescription for your left shoulder. You're going to come to this physical therapist 2 to 3 times a week for the next 6 weeks. If that's no better after, you know, 6 weeks, we're going to get what's called an MRI, which is a very comprehensive image of the interior of the shoulder. If we find that, hey, it's not getting better because indeed your MRI shows that you have a slap tear, meaning like a tear of the cartilage inside of the, then we're going to send you to our friend, the orthopedist. And our orthopedist is going to go in and is going to scope and is going to repair that shoulder.
Okay, so until you hit that $50,000 mark, all of that, no questions asked, should be covered.
No, there's definitely there's questions asked.
But you have the right to do all of it.
At least there's some money that is put aside.
Yeah.
Bigger procedures, you know, they definitely question. They're not just going to go, oh, hey, no problem. It's a $100,000 procedure.
No, but I'm saying within that $50,000.
Even at like, you know, a $5,000 or $10,000 procedure, they're still going to
pre-procedure. Okay, pre-procedure. Let's say you got hurt in an accident, right? And you got to wait for all this other stuff to happen, but you're in pain. So you go to the pain doctor once a week. You shouldn't be worried about that needing some scrutiny or whatever or authorization, because as long as you don't hit $50,000 of usage, the insurance company just has to pay it.
For most things, correct. In other words, a doctor's visit, they'll probably pay for. But if, so some people will, some doctors will maybe write things that the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. Like they'll say, hey, we think you need a back brace, this machine to sleep with at night, this particular cooling device. And by the way, it's going to cost, you know, $3,000 for this thing and $2,000 for this thing. The insurance companies sometimes will be like, hey, like, guess what? We're not going to pay for that. Right. So, you know, within reason, they will pay for things. And then there's also something called an IME, which is called an independent medical examination. So the patient, after a certain amount of treatment, after the bills start coming into the insurance company, they will actually revisit it and say, wow, like these, doctors and chiropractors and physical therapists sure seem to be doing a lot of work here. We probably should like have an independent medical examination. So they will tell the patient, hey, you need to go see this other doctor to get a independent evaluation. And then based on that report, we're either going to say, continue with therapy, or we're going to cut off all of your benefits. And so that happens very frequently, and that's another subject for a podcast.
That's great. Well, let's close it out.
All right, so we're going to close out the Closed Door Behind You podcast, and look forward to Prepare for Impact with Doc Jud. We'll see you next time.
Yay!